Welcome to Tradespoon and Yellow Tunnel. My name is Carpel. I'm CEO and founder of both companies, and today we're going to have a live trading room open to trade stock and options using our technology. For those of you who are new, welcome. If this is your first live event, do me a favor, type in first. Always want to welcome new subscribers. Disclosures are very important. Please read them. If this is the first broadcast, I encourage you to visit optionsclearing.com so you can understand the risk associated with trading stock or options. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not registered with FINRA nor SEC. I'm showing you what I do in my own account based on my own risk tolerance level for general education information purposes only. All right, the goal is to become a disciplined trader. Few announcements. The good news is that API is back. It doesn't have all my positions because they were down, but like JP Morgan is still there. And I'll put Meta and Tesla. I think we have a position, so I'll put them here. I mean, you have to place a trade. It's synchronized with real time. So you should be able to get SMS messages now real time, right? If you add your SMS alert here or on Yellow Tunnel. Same idea on Yellow Tunnel. If you go into Dynamic Power Trader, right? Or Profit Accelerator, and you add SMS, then you will get an SMS message. Same thing. I think Tim was asking, somebody was asking about AI Analyze. That's back as well. And you should be able to see orders and positions as well. So that's the good news. Okay, so that's the good news. And then, okay, and then that's the information. That's the announcement I want to make. And then because it's been a few weeks without the real-time synchronization. So the goal, trading psychology, the goal is to become disciplined trader, confident trader. I think it requires repetition and mechanical trading was the written down rules. So I encourage everybody to keep a trading plan. Again, on Yellow Tunnel and Tradespoon, if you looking for coaching, right? If you haven't done this before or you didn't have a coach, I strongly encourage you one-on-one coaching program that we offer. It's been pretty popular. Very rarely do I hear any complaints from our coaching program. It's a financial commitment, so I understand, but if you are managing a larger portfolio, this is something I would consider. In those one-on-one coaching program, we always talk about trading plan, how important it is to keep a trading plan, written down rules, and keep a journal, where in your journal you have a basically checklist before you place every trade. Every trade is a line item, right? And then you would have a checklist to make sure that you don't break any rules defined in your trading plan. And you keep trading plan as if you're managing your business, right? The operating agreement or some kind of a rules in terms of what you can and cannot do. My rules are cash. I propose 30% of your portfolio to be in cash. I would raise cash. I mean, every time I turn on TV, everybody talks about seasonality and how horrible September, October has been in the past few years. I keep saying the same thing. But again, when everybody says this and everybody anticipated, unless you have a negative catalyst, market can continue to growing higher. But everybody does agree that market is susceptible, that if there is any negative news, then you could have, sharp drawdown. 5, 10, 15%, just depends on the nature of the news. So personally, you can see that I have less positions, raised cash, and portfolio drawdown, number of positions and position size. I propose, especially if you're new, to start with 4 positions and not risk more than 2.5%. Elmar, good morning. Russell, good morning. 2.5% of account value per position. How do you do that? And I mean, there are other, short-term, medium-term, and long-term, market is trading an uptrend, even though it's overextended from technical point of view, and you can argue from fundamental valuations point of view, but that doesn't mean it cannot stay overbought or continue being overbought. So if you are looking for a change, at least allow 2 to 3 days of downward momentum to at least consider that the short-term trend is broken, right? For now, the July-August breakout is confirmed, and we've been trading in very narrow range, right? Volatility is collapsing, narrow range, looking for the news. Positive news like Jackson Hole on Friday, and market will resolve to itself to the upside. Negative news, and the market will resolve, to the downside. So usually wait 2 to 3 days to see if the trades confirm. I think right now it makes sense to be long and short the market. You can use it. You can be long and short the market either using options like option spreads or iron counters, right? Or you could be long and short some. You can be long the strong stocks and short the weak stocks, right? And then what else is important? Wait till end of day. On Friday after Powell speak, market is going to be probably volatile. It might go up 1-2%, 1 or 2%. It can go down 1 or 2%. Wait till end of the day to decide to rebalance your portfolio, right? And in 2.5%, that's tricky, right? Figuring out where's the 2.5%. So we do have tools, stock forecast toolbox. Again, short-term market model sees uptrend in the next 10 days. You could see 650 print. I wouldn't be surprised to see 650 print. I'll be surprised to see 660. Earnings is behind us. I'm not sure what the positive catalyst is. I mean, obviously, if Russia, Ukraine, if they actually reach a peace agreement, when they meet, I mean, that will propel the market higher for sure. If Powell indicates that he's ready to start cutting rates, maybe aggressively, maybe it was 50 basis point cuts in September, okay, then you could have, market get to 660. But outside of this kind of outlier event, I think 650 is reasonable, 660 is not. On a downside, model doesn't see support 640. Again, it's not trained on making predictions of what the results of the Jackson Hole meeting will be. But I do realize that even though we're trading an uptrend and model doesn't see, there is definitely, downward, but I still think there is more risk to the downside, right? VIX, we're kind of complacent. Market just open, right? And QQQ is slightly down, Spider's flat. And, everybody's waiting, I guess, for Jackson Hole meeting on Friday. I think it starts Thursday, conference call, and then Friday, I think Powell speaks in the morning. So 2.5%, how do you decide 2.5%? Let's also look at gamma exposure. So market is pretty well supported as long as PX is trading above that gamma flip point. So 634. So you can see gamma, and in terms of positioning, market is supportive as long as it's trading above 6,300, right? 6,340, 6,300. On the upside, highest positioning is 6,500. So we need to break above 6,500. On support, 6,400. So still trading in a narrow range. I would consider buying at 6,300. If we drop below 6,300, then you have a negative gamma, and then the sell-off can accelerate. So you do have to be careful. And in terms of positioning, it's growing, right? So already October is very little, but September close to 60 billion in gamma. I mean, in April it was 120, 150. So it's still, in relative terms, not a lot of support, but it's growing, right, after the expiration. So largest position, there's not much overhead resistance here. A lot of people don't think we're going to break 6,500, right? I mean, a lot of, RBC and UBS, upgraded, to 6,800, end of the year, 6,800. Right. I mean, obviously it's a guess estimate, but you pay attention to, sometimes it makes sense to pay attention to these revisions. So, I mean, obviously, if all stars align, then you could get to 6,800. But for now, at least September, October, 6,500 is your main resistance. I mean, if it doesn't hold, then 6,600. On the downside, we talked about 6,400. If you're day trading, 6,100. We're right at that 6,450 for the past few sessions. And then I would use support number 2, 6,300, that positive gamma. You can buy SPX, you can buy SPX options, right? A lot of people basically sell calls here, right? Day trading, 0 days till expiration. Sell and call as you approach 6,500, and then sell and put as you approach in 6,400. Very popular strategy. Or some people buy calls at 6,400, buy puts at 6,500, just depending on your portfolio size, right? But same strategy, right? You can sell premium, or you can be long. And then if you're doing longer term trading, I would consider support number 2, right, 6,300. So if you're not buying options and you trade in spiders, SPY, I would just remove the 0. So that's your first support, right? So I would make, if you day trading, I would use maybe 1%. VIX is at 15, 14. It's not going, at VIX 15, 16, market basically, the expected move is about 1%. Less than 1% up and down. So 6 points if you're doing day trading. If you hold in position longer, I would consider maybe 15 points, right, as your stop level. And on a $10,000 account, 2.5% is $250. So per position. So you have 4 positions. Your maximum drawdown is $1,000. So then 250 divided by 15, that's 15 shares if you hold in position overnight, or a couple of days, maybe a week. And then if you're doing day trading, you divide it by 6, right? In terms of prospect theory, and one of the main mistakes everybody makes in terms of position size, you say, today I'm a day trader and my stop loss is 6 points. And if we do drop 6 points, then you basically say, well, Vlad said that 6,300 will hold. And then you wait until 15. But the problem is 250 divided by 6 is 40 shares, right? And then you're down $250. But if you drop to 6,300, now you're down $500, right? And we do not want to risk $500 on $10,000 account, right? That would be a mistake in my journal. It happens to everybody. The goal that it happens less than 10% of the time, and you just grade yourself, right? Sometimes you do drop to 6,300, right? And then you rebound back. But sometimes you drop to 6,300 and you continue to drop, right? And that's the prospect theory, right? That our relationship with money is different, and then, it's an asymmetrical relationship between gains and losses, right? The way we look at a $100 gain and a $100 loss is different. And, and the way Ted looks at a $100 loss and Fred looks at $100 loss is different, right? It's different because we have different experiences and we're managing different portfolio, and we're raised differently. All right. Any questions on that? Meanwhile, the market is open, slightly down, small caps slightly higher. Small caps are still staying above 225, right? A lot of people talk about rotation between value and growth, sell Meta and Tesla, Nvidia, and buy, small cap stocks or home builder stocks. Maybe, right? It's overdone, overstretched, but it did break out. So as long as the small caps are above 225 and Meta is underperforming and Microsoft is underperforming, then that trade is still on. You see that divergence, but at some point, I think, as long as Powell doesn't cut interest rates aggressively, I think this is going to be a false breakout and will roll over. But again, for now, what you see and what I see is that small caps did break out and home builders did break out, right? And then for now, that breakout is confirmed. Interest rates is glued to 4.3, right? That magic number we talked about for the past couple of years. So that's good, right? It's kind of a war between inflation and recession, right? This is fear of recession, And this is fear of inflation, right? Every time we're approaching these levels. In the middle, business as usual and everybody's happy. What else? Bitcoin. Let's see how's the Bitcoin doing. First of all, any questions on drawdown, position size? Probably the most important topic. If you can get position size correctly, everything else will fall in place. Bitcoin also false breakout, underperforming, right? Again, this rotation into the value instead of high beta. 50-day moving average. So I would keep an eye on Bitcoin. It's kind of stuck to 50-day moving average. Usually it's a good support. It's been a good support, but any negative news and you could have a larger drawdown. What else? Nvidia, kind of similar to other high beta or momentum stocks, just consolidating in the months of August, not going anywhere. What else is interesting? Anything else catches attention? Probably not. All right, watch list. Let's see, retail. So we have Home Depot announcing earnings today. We talked about Home Depot yesterday, up 3%, right? Approaching that 410. I did the iron, right? We talked about iron condor. So for now, that 410 holds, right? So let's look at Home Depot. Largest position was at 410. Let me see, what did I sell? 410, or did I go to further out? Let me look. Mm-hmm. 415. So I sold 415, call out 415. This is where the highest position is 410. So I went a little bit outside of that strike. So right now we're kind of glued to 410. I mean, I would watch, but let's try to close that spread. Close 410, 415. Oh no, wait, I did the debit spread. Sorry, did I? Oh no, nope, I did credit call spread. Okay, so I don't need to close it. Close 415, 417 and a half spread. What is it trading on? Right, so this was a credit call spread. I need to watch the 410 strike. Trading at 60 cents, 60 cents, 50 cents. So let's see if I can close it for 30 cents. Let's try it. Let's maybe 20 cents, 20 cents. All right. So watching Home Depot, we talked about Home Depot, iron condor. Let's see, Palo Alto, right? Palo Alto had a strong earnings, so looks like security, software, AI. You have different reaction, but Palo Alto is doing something right. And the stock is up. We talked about, again, one standard deviation move is 190 strike. And I have 190, 192 and a half. We're trading at 185. So, I mean, it's kind of equally distributed. One standard deviation was 190. I sold 190, 192 and a half call. You can close it now it's trading at 45 cents. So, I mean, still profitable trade, right? You can close the call spread. I sold the put spread, right? Iron condor. So, and you can close that trade as well. So that's Home Depot earnings, Palo Alto earnings. Lennard continues to grind higher. That's good. How's home builders? Warren Buffett is helping So that's good. Position, and then Medtronic is down 4%, right? Medtronic is down 4%. So I did also iron put spread. I mean iron spread. Medtronic, I did vertical put spread, and it's trading at actually 20 cents. So you can also close it for profit. Not sure why I'm not getting filled, but I have it right at that level. So 87, right? I have 87, 83 put spread, and see if that will get executed as well. Let's see, Medtronic. Home Depot 415, 417. Yes, 415, 417. This is credit call spread. So, I mean, close the call spread and put spread will be profitable. So that worked out well. 32 cents. Actually, Medtronic just got filled, the put spread. So if you did the Medtronic, let's see, trade order status. If you did do Medtronic, then it got filled for 30 cents. I mean, it was at 87.50, so I would use that as an opportunity to just close the put spread, right? That 87.83 put spread. Okay, so I'm out of Medtronic. Palo Alto is trading at 185, so let's keep an eye on Palo Alto. Also getting close, and Home Depot. Let's see, Home Depot 411. So it's trying to escape 411. It's trading at what, 80 cents? Maybe close half of the position. Or I guess I can just, one way to hedge is buy a stock since it is escaping. So let's see. A lot of it has to do with home builders, right? Buying. So Home Depot, buy. Let's see. Yes. So they're trading it. 412. An alternative you can buy, I mean, I have a spread, right? 415, 417, and I have spread. If you think Home Depot is going to do a catch-up trade, then you can just buy stock, right? And that would be a hedge, right? I mean, delta 30, right? That spread moves maybe delta 30, delta 50. So you buy 400 shares, you buy 30 shares of Home Depot or 50 shares. Or you can just close the put spread, which is another alternative. Any other questions? All right, so we got Palo Alto, we got Home Depot, we got Medtronic. Medtronic, I don't need to follow that. That's out. Okay, so I still have Home Depot 415, 417, and then Palo Alto 190, 192 and a half. SPX is flat, JP Morgan slightly down, Tesla slightly down, Meta down 1%, Nvidia down, Google. So we still see this rotation, right? So rotation into the retail stocks like Home Depot, Wayfair, home builders, consumer staples looks like catching a bit. Consumer staples are trying to break out. What did we have on the weekly power trader? CSX, Ford, Nike, TJX. So retail, right? Ford. Yeah, so Ford continues to grind higher, Nike continues to grind higher, and TJX, right? So that rotation into interest-sensitive sectors, that trade is still intact. Questions? All right. Now we need to restore our trades. So let's look at dynamic power trader. See if I can put these trades on so people don't get confused. So if you already have this meta trade, right, then you don't need to enter them again, right? So I have JP Morgan is there, Meta, right? So Meta I have 760, 765 spread. Let me put that in. Let me. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure people don't get confused with the emails. So let me just look at. Okay. Okay. Let's try it again. No, wrong side trading. So trade. Okay. So let's see order. So Meta. We're doing call vertical. Call expiration, we're going to September expiration, and then strike is 760. 760, 765. Again, don't, I mean, you only, if you already placed that trade yesterday, you don't need to place it again. Right now it's trading at $2.50. Let's see, let's do 260. Review, send. Placement or the order was not placed due to I cannot sell to call. Okay, doesn't allow me orders. ES call. Cancel. Okay, doesn't look like it lets me place a trade. Per page. Okay, KR. It's working on the. Oh yeah, I do have JPM and see if I can cancel them. Cancel order. Okay. KR cancel. Okay, Delta Airline. Cancel. Give me, just bear with me. I'm trying to still fix my account. Okay. Try it again. Meta vertical call 260. Review. Send order. Okay. Status open. Okay. Looks like now it's going through. Okay. Positions, orders, open. Why is it open? Still order open. Okay, let's modify it. Cancel, modify. 270. Ask 270. $230. Not sure it's gonna get infilled. Okay, might be an issues. What if I do 280? Vertical debit open. Okay, let's try 280. 280. Okay. Still not filled. Why is that? Yeah, it doesn't look like it's working. Change. Let's try to my. Yeah, I think the limit price doesn't take. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I cancel. Sorry. Cancel order. Does that work? Ejected, ejected. Or did I get filled? Hold on a sec. Maybe I got filled. Okay, so matter rejected. Positions. Do I have a fill? I do. Okay, never mind. Okay, so I do have 765, 760 now meta spread. All right, so that worked. That worked, and then what else do I have? JP Morgan, Meta, and Tesla. Tesla. So let's trade to place Tesla. Let's see what it's trading at. Tesla was 310. Okay. Call vertical. Call expiration September. And buy is 3. What did I do? 310, 315, 310, 315. And right now it's trading at still 380. Let's try to do it 410. 10. Review, send. Okay, so I did place an order. We'll see if it gets filled. Right now it's trading at 410. Well, not getting filled. All right, so now I have Meta. Hopefully Tesla will gonna get filled. And that's it, right? So JP Morgan, Meta, Tesla. Any questions on Tesla? Let's look at Tesla. How's Tesla doing? It's deep in the money call spread. I mean, it looks like it's Tesla is trying to go higher. So Tesla is still doing well. Let's look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan is kind of a consolidating. I mean, it's probably going to move after the Jackson Hole meeting, depending on what the view of the economy that Powell is going to convey. So JP Morgan, Tesla, and Meta. Let's see, is Meta. Meta is still weak, kind of, but hovering over 20-day moving average in the gap. So as long as it's above 750, I'm not concerned about Meta. So that would be the trades. Any questions? All right, we have full house today as well. All right, Discord. Any questions on Discord? No questions on Discord. Okay, how are we doing on Palo Alto? All right, so it looks like Palo Alto is rolling over. Home Depot rallying, right? So Home Depot continues to rally. So Home Depot continues to grind higher. PQ is down, that is down. Did I close Meta call spread? No, I did not close Meta call spread. No, I still have a Meta call spread. I opened it. The API is back, so the JP Morgan, I already have a JP Morgan position because it was done on July 28th. But in the past 2 weeks, because the broker dealer was down, I did it in my other brokerages account. But now I wanted to, so people, all the subscribers, whether it's on Yellow Tunnel or on Tradespoon, that they basically have access to it. So I'm just placing these trades again. So I didn't close it, still have it. So now you can actually look at the orders and positions, and you should be able to see them. So I have a Meta. Okay, and Tesla, looks like Tesla got filled, right? Looks like Tesla got filled. Yeah, I got filled on Tesla. So I still have Tesla spread 310, 315, and now I have Meta, and now I have JP Morgan. So now everything is in sync. Whether you're in the live trading room or you can go into orders and position, all of that is now available. Any questions? Any other questions? All right. All right. Let's see Palo Alto. What do they fill? So if you did Palo Alto, it did get filled for 35 cents. So Palo Alto 35 cents, and put spreads are profitable, call spreads are profitable. So at this point, you're up. And then let's see. Let's see if we can get back to 186. Okay, so Palo Alto I'm out. So Home Depot. Home Depot is approaching 415. So I either would close that spread or leave the, leave this position. Or either close the stock position or close the, I don't know, keep the stock position or close the option position on Home Depot. Right now it's trading at $1.25. If you want to close that 115. So dollar. Okay, so I got filled at $1.30. So you can close the spread for $1.30, then it would be, I think, slightly down, right, between puts and call spread, maybe 50 cents down. But I mean, if you did buy stock, now the stock position, I bought it at 412. 412, it's trading at 413. So, all right. So these are the trades from today. Any other questions? Meanwhile, let's see what else is interesting. So Meta is still down. UNH. Let's switch to 1 hour. UNH pulled back to the neckline. Meta is pulled back to the neckline. All right. Home builders are up. So home builders on Home Depot continue to grind higher. So that's positive. I'm just looking at my orders. Give me 1 second. Let's look at Tesla. Looks like Tesla is grinding higher. 338, 340. Bitcoin is down 1%. And spiders are still flat. All right, let's look at the earnings. Let's see any other earnings. What's interesting today? So we have Toll Brothers after close. So home builders are leading the market with anticipation of lower interest rates. So Toll Brothers, let's see, that's about it. Yep, and then tomorrow morning. Okay, so we have TJX, ADI, Target, Baidu. So we have a few earnings on track. What did I decide on here? I think I did TJX, right? So we need to talk about TJX. Yeah, so TJX and Alibaba. We can talk about TJX earnings. List. Yeah, Home Depot actually pulled back. So how much is the spread? Let's see, account, positions. Home Depot. Close 415, 417 and a half is now trading at, close the other half of the position, 60 cents. Okay, so that's good. And place. Okay, so it's TJX. So TJX has been a strong stock. Also facing overhead resistance. So one standard deviation move, expectation 4% move to 140. On the upside, to the downside, 130. 140, 130, that would imply 4% move. Slightly outside of that range. Let's look at the expected move. It's moved between 2 to 6%, average move 3%. So expected move was about 5%. So 140 on the upside and then 127 on the downside. I mean, you are faced with the year-to-date high in May. Let's see. So it did move up 6% last August. So let's see. Let's look at the put and call ratio. How are people positioned? They're mostly bullish or bearish or neutral. So open interest, a lot more put buying in this week expiration. September would be the opposite, more calls. So short term, people think maybe bearish bias, September expiration, more bullish bias. Almost the same number of contracts. Basically, that they're not gonna. All right, so I can do that here. Let's see. Training. All right. Let's try to place this trade. All right, so TJX. So let's see how much is 125. Let's see. So let's do call vertical. Let's go into weekly, August 22nd, and then call. Let's see, 140. How much is a 140 call? So 50 cents, 140, and then one. Doesn't look like it's loading more. That doesn't make sense. Okay, let's do it again. Trade. Order status. Sorry. Trade option. TJX. Vertical call. August 22nd. Let's see. So there's 140. I don't know. August 22nd. August 22nd. Oh, now it is. Okay, so 140. And this one. Okay. Sell, buy. Option leg. $142. Add. Sell. August 22nd. Okay, so 140 by 142 is trading at 10 cents. There's no bid and ask. So 140, 141, 19 cents spread. Okay, let's see. Let's try to get 15 cents. So 140, 141, 15 cents. Did it get filled? So it did not get filled, but okay. So for now, I'm trying to get sell 140, buy 141, right? So it's $1 risk, trying to get 15 cents. And then I would do the same thing on the put side, right? So put, but instead of 140, right, expected move is, if here's 140, so 128. Let's try 128, 127. So selling 128, buying 127. What is that spread? 14 cents. Okay, so 128, 127. I mean, you do have 130, probably. A lot of people are buying 150, so people are bearish. That's that open interest. So a lot of people think it's, should I buy a put spread? That it's overdone. Okay, let's do buy a put spread. Let's flip it around. Go with the crowd. All right, so let's do 128, buy 128. Where's the gamma? One 128, so you do have pretty large 130. Let's see, buy, how much is 130? 130, 130, 129, 22 cents. Okay, so 130, 129 put spread is 22 cents. 22 cents. Let's try to get it for 20. Sorry, let's try to get it for 24 cents. Preview. So this is a debit spread. All right, so I'll just make sure I'm buying more expensive leg, selling less expensive. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Did it get fill? Did anyone get fill? Nope. Okay, so I'll work these two orders. So I'm gonna go with the, I guess, was the majority. It is overbought. So buying a put spread with the idea that TGX is overbought and it's going to have similar earnings as last time, where it just can't break through this and pull back. I mean, TGX is not a construction company, right? Like Home Depot is more of a home building construction. TGX just a retail. So we'll see if it's able to. If it's unable to break through, have a strong earnings, then it could, then I guess people are right. And I'm financing it with the crowd. Right, so I'm selling 141, 140 call spread, right? So I'm selling 140, 141 call spread, but on the downside, I'm buying 130, selling 129. Any questions on the TJX? Let's see if it's going to get filled. All right, if there are no other questions, then that's, oh, so TJX did get filled, something did get just filled. It looks like I did get fill. The order is staying open, but looks like positions. I did get positions. Okay, so I think broker deal some kind of issues with the statuses, but looks like I did get fill. Okay. All right. Any questions on TJX? All right. So I'll be back on Thursday. Keith will do the closing bell and Keith will do the morning bell tomorrow. You can find all trades here. And the GoToWebinar. Any questions? All right, guys. Thank you very much and have a great day. And Keith will be back closing bell. Thank you.